Hello there. So today I'm going to be reviewing My Search for Meaning by Amanda Knox. This actually isn't going to be what the cover looks like, but I did get this book off of NetGalley, so I got an early release version of it. It's actually going to be published on March 25th, and I am reviewing this book as of February 25th. So it'll be published a month from today, so I'm super excited for this book to come out, and I just wanted to give you my thoughts and opinion on this book so far. So I finished this book yesterday and it was a really great read. Prior to coming into this book, I actually didn't know much about Amanda Knox. I was younger when her whole trial and case was happening, so it wasn't something that I was really aware of. I actually was kind of more introduced to her on YouTube. I saw a video that she did with a ballet dancer who was speaking out against the New York City Ballet, and Amanda was the one who was interviewing her. So I've always had really good feelings around Amanda, and just from there kind of saw what her story was, that she was incarcerated unfairly and accused of murder when she didn't actually murder anyone. So when I saw this book come up on NetGalley, I was just really interested in hearing more about her story. Again, I didn't really look up the full case or the details or anything, but I wanted to see, first of all, how somebody would go through something like that, being judged so harshly and being convicted of a crime that they didn't even commit. And so that's what got me into this book. That's why I wanted to read it. And I am definitely so happy that I did. So throughout this book, I'm not going to give away the whole plot, but Amanda tells her side of the story. She really shows how media can portray you in a different way than you are completely. So it was really interesting to hear her perspective, as well as just her resilience on continuing on in her life and continuing on in her beliefs, despite the fact that people thought they knew who she was, but really had no idea who she was. It goes through her journey of being incarcerated for 4 years and how she was able to cope with that experience, as well as what it was like returning back home for her, and how to have a life in your 20s after going through something so traumatic. But the part that I really loved in this book, not that I didn't love that part, but the part that really spoke to me was kind of more the second half of the book, where she's trying to find meaning in this and she's trying to do something that shows her character. And she really wants to reach out to the judge who accused her and gave her this sentence in prison. And that's kind of the last half of the book, her trying to figure out, build that relationship, and she at some point is really trying to look for him to say he was wrong, him to apologize, his forgiveness. But what she learns along the way is really powerful, and just how she can continue on in her life and continue to thrive in life despite not getting that apology, but still reaching out for that reconciliation, for that understanding, just to lend him a hand too of, hey, this is what it could look like, in order to move beyond this, as the press and the media maybe characterized him in a way that wasn't true either. And so I think that this book is really good for anybody who is dealing with hardship, for anybody who really just is trying to find resilience through a hard time, or feels unjustly not just accused of something, but like misunderstood by people. I think that Amanda is a prime example of what it's like to be misunderstood by people and actually have your life really altered by that. And she gained almost this celebrity status of, she couldn't even go anywhere without somebody judging her, and it was super hard for her to even get a job, and things we take for granted she couldn't take for granted anymore. And so I think a lot of people experience this maybe on a smaller level of, okay, maybe on social media or your friend group or people you care about really just don't see who you are and what your intentions are. But of course, Amanda dealt with this on such a large scale, and her resilience through this and her ability to pick herself up and really just know who she was internally, despite what everybody else is saying, and take back her voice to tell her own story, I thought was really powerful. And I think that it's just beautiful seeing that she did recapture her voice. She did recapture, her values through all of this, despite how the media characterized her as this person that she wasn't. And so I'm really excited for this book to come out. I hope you guys give it a chance. is 304 pages, and it was honestly like a pretty quick read once I sat down and really devoted time to this, and you really get captured in, especially at the end. I highlighted a lot of passages, especially her talking to the person who gave her that guilty sentence. That was very emotional, and I think that she did a really good job here as a young adult, really just navigating this whole situation. So that is my review for My Search for Meaning. I gave it 5 stars. I would highly recommend this book. It's probably one of my favorite reads, not just so far this year in 2025, but even if I take last year's reads, this would definitely be in the top 10. It was really powerful, and I can't wait for Amanda to be able to release this and for people to see her side of the story, for people to hear her voice, and for people to recognize that the media doesn't always get things right. And she was able to understand that even from a person that maybe she could hate in her life, but she reached out for reconciliation, and she reached out in good faith and nature. And it was just a very beautiful friendship that formed there. So hope you give this book a chance, and thanks for watching my review.